girls, welcome to Mrs. Dalzig's classroom workshop. Today we are going to be talking about plants. We're going to go over the parts of the plant, life cycle of the plant. We're going to talk about some adaptations some plants have made, and we're going to talk about the different parts of a plant that you can eat. So before we get started, I want to see if you can think in your head of parts of a plant. Can you think about some of the parts of a plant? Do you have some ideas? Alright, well I'm going to go ahead and show you. So parts of a plant, I'm going to try to zoom in here. So we have the flower right here, which helps in reproduction or making more. The leaf, which performs photosynthesis. The fruit, which protects the seed. Here is the seed inside the fruit, which is the beginning of new life. The stem that supports the plant. The root that absorbs water and minerals. Over to the side we have the shoot system that goes above the ground and the root system that goes down into the ground. How'd you do? Did you get any of those parts right? Did you get the flower? Did you get the leaf? Did you get the fruit? Stem? Roots? Seeds? Alright, we're going to talk about what plants need. Do you have any idea what a plant might need? See if you can think of something. Any idea what a plant might need? Do you have an idea? Alright, plants need air. They need water, sun, soil, and room. Room to grow. We're going to be talking about this in another video about why it's so important for seed dispersal and giving that plant room. But they need air, water, sun, soil, and room. We're going to talk about the life cycle of a plant. As we've been talking about other life cycles, we know that it goes around and around in a cycle. The plant does the same thing. It starts with the seed. The seed is planted. We get to germination. The seed grows into a sprout. Then we get to the root and stems. The roots continue to grow. The stem pushes its way up to the soil surface. So we have the roots growing down, the stem starting to come up. Then we get the seedling, the tiny little plant. The seedling grows out of the ground. The stem and its leaves grow toward the sunlight. The leaves make food for the plant. So the little seedling starts to grow. And then comes pollination. The plant grows flowers. The flowers are pollinated by bees, animals, or the wind, and the plant makes seeds. So if we get all of this into pollination, then we get a new seed. And then the seed starts over. It goes from the seed, it's planted, it germinates, it gets roots and stems, it grows into a seedling, gets pollinated, and then we have a new seed. So it continues in that plant life cycle. Well, there are some plants that have had trouble finding the soil and the room that they might need, so they have come up with ways of adapting to their environment. So we're going to talk about a few of the ways that plants have adapted. Some plants cling to other objects in order to get sunlight. There is an ivy that is growing up a tree. It has found a way to cling and to grow because it may not have the things that it needs. So that's one way it's adapted. Some plants have roots that grow near the surface to help them get their water, like this cactus out here in the desert. It has been able to find a way to have its roots grow near the surface so it can help suck up the water when there's not a lot of water and soil. Some plants have roots to help them absorb nutrients from the mud. These water lilies that grow in the water, they have found a way to get through the mud instead of the soil. And these ones are some of my favorite. I've always tried to figure out, how do these things grow in sidewalks? How do they grow in rocks? How do they grow in the most unusual places? Some plants grow on rocks and have tiny roots. They can survive with a small amount of soil. Have you ever found those ones, girls, where they're growing into, and you pull them up and they have the tiniest little roots. Well, these plants have figured out a way how to adapt and to grow because maybe they're lacking in one of the things that they need. So they've figured out a way to adapt to still survive. Well, when we talked about the parts of the flower, we had the flower, we have leaves, we have fruit on some of them, we have the stems, and we have the roots, which we can't always see. Well, we wanted to talk about some of the plant parts that you actually can eat. Now, these are just some. I'm encouraging you to go and see if you can fill in more on this chart. But plant parts that you can eat. The flowers. When you are eating the top of a broccoli, you are actually eating its flower. The cauliflower, it's got the name flower right in it. And strawberry. Strawberry is actually the flower part. Fruit. Tomato, apricots, bananas, to name a few. The stem, celery, asparagus, green onions, and rhubarb. And when you look at those things, don't they look like a stem? Yeah. Leaves, spinach, mint, lettuce. Roots, turnip, potato, onions, carrot, radish. When you eat carrots, you are eating this part right here, which is actually the root of the plant. You are eating a root. The seeds are peas, green beans, lima beans, sunflower seeds, wheat, and rice. These are just a few. I want to see if you can think of some more. I have some great books here that would be fun for you to look online or to check out. But I have the story called One Bean by Anne Rockwell, and it explains how to grow a bean. And this one is a really great one called From Seed to Plant by Gail Gibbons, and it goes over what we talked about, the life cycle and the parts. Well, we hope you enjoyed learning a little bit about the plant life cycle, the parts of a plant, how some plants have adapted to their conditions, and some of the different parts of a plant you can eat. We would encourage you to get outside and see if you can find and label all those parts of a plant and see what you're eating, okay? So we hope you enjoyed this, and we will talk with you later as we talk about seeds and seed dispersal. Bye everybody. Bye.